Hello, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to your practice. Our practice today is for all of you moms out there who spend your day lifting, carrying, twisting, moving children and all the equipment that goes with them, strollers, package, blankets, everything that you do to hold children in place. I remember when my two were much younger, carrying them around on one hip and carrying a lot of equipment on the other and dragging a stroller behind me or pushing a stroller in front of me, and how much back pain that caused me and how I always felt like I was sort of always at a slant one way or the other. So remembering that and watching some of my new friends who have new babies struggle through that, I wanted to offer something to sort of help relieve that. And I know as a mom, you have very little time, so we'll get right to it. Only prop you might want to have is a blanket underneath. You can just lay straight down on the floor. It's not absolutely necessary, and we're going to start on our backs. So go ahead and come down onto your back. That right there just feels good, right? Take your feet wide, knees together, hands to your belly. Settle your shoulders underneath you and just take a few breaths. Now, as a busy mom, I am sure you sometimes feel like you don't get a free breath until the very end of the day when everybody's in bed and you're just going to sleep. So take advantage of these few breaths where no one is disturbing you. And take some nice deep breaths. So fill the belly, chest, collarbones, 3-part breath. And then open your mouth and exhale everything out with a sigh. 2 more times. Inhale, fill up. And sigh. Feel everything sink a little bit here. Inhale 1 more time. And exhale, sigh. Go ahead and start to breathe just through your nose. Walk your feet together. You're going to cross your right leg over your left. And we're going to take supine shoelace. So bring those knees into your chest, grab wherever you can. That may be your knees, that may be your ankles or your calves, whatever works for you. Now for a lot of moms, the lower back takes such a beating with lifting and twisting. And when you have little children, you don't remember the dynamics of don't lift and twist or lift from your hips. We just tend to respond to what we need to lift and do it quickly. And so this helps kind of stretch out the lower back, release the hips. And let those nice deep breaths continue. And begin to extend that exhale just a little bit longer than that inhale. Let your shoulders soften to the floor. Let your neck lengthen out. I also know that as a mother, your energy is always out of balance. And you look at your children and think, I wish I could bottle that energy they have inside. So we're going to work a little bit with the kidney meridian to help bring more balance to your energy. Use that breath to sense where in your body you feel some tension, some tightness, maybe a little discomfort. Just breathe into that space. I remember nap time being the most precious moments of every single day, and I was so thrilled when both my kids both took 2 naps a day. even for 15 to 30 minutes. That was my time to just sort of recover. One more deep breath. And then keeping those legs crossed, release those feet down to the floor. Take the arms out to the side. Shift the hips over to the right and then drop those knees over to the left. Turn and look over your right shoulder. And here again, breathe into the space. I often find in this twist that I hold a little bit of tension in my hip. And as I just allow myself to soften, that right hip will begin to release down toward the feet a little bit more, helping the stretch in the back feel a little bit better and reach up a little bit higher. For this last minute in the twist, lift your head and turn it over toward the left. Just let that shoulder and neck stretch out a little bit. Because children are so much closer to the floor than we are, we spend a lot of our day kind of hunched over, bent over. Our neck gets a little bit stiff, our upper back gets a little stiff. Checking in with your breath, keeping that 3-part breath, but allowing the breath to extend on the exhale. Last deep inhale and exhale here. Turn your head back to center, bring everything back through the middle. Unwind those legs. Drop those knees together. Take 3 deep breaths here. Notice how the right side of the back feels versus the left. One more deep inhale and exhale. Walk those feet together. Cross that left over right this time. Bring the knees into the chest for supine shoelace. Grab whatever you can. Knees, feet, ankles. And notice if this side is a little bit more tight than the other. Because I am right-handed, I used to hold my children always on my left side. So I find that my left side has a very different, even though I don't carry my children as much now, I feel like that side is very different now. There's a lot of tension that is not in the right side. Bring your focus to your breath. I find that sometimes when I am still and holding a pose, my mind wanders to all the things I need to do or should have done or how my day went. Just focus on your breath as much as you can. So focus on softening the body with the breath. One more minute here. Slowly release those legs. Take the arms out to the side. Shift the hips over to the left this time. Drop those knees over to the right and turn and look over your shoulder. I always find that sometimes on the second side my back will pop back into place, which will feel really good. Use the breath to soften the hip and the back. Know that as a mother, all your time is spent caring for everyone else. And that taking some time to practice self-care is not a bad thing. It's not selfish. It helps you do your job better. It helps you take care of yourself. By taking care of yourself, you are better able to take care of other people. If your back hurts, then you don't feel good, and nothing you do throughout the day will be quite as good. For this last minute, lift the head, turn, and look over the right shoulder. I remember feeling that every single moment that kids were asleep or busy, that I had to be doing something like laundry or the house or cooking or cleaning or straightening up. Those are certainly important to your day, but more important to your day is taking a little time to breathe and stretch and rest and reboot yourself, because there is more day to come. My kids used to wake up at 6 and they'd go to bed at 8, and that was a very long day. Turn your head back to center, engage your core, bring those knees back through the middle, unwind, hands to your belly, feet wide, knees together, 3 deep breaths. Gently roll over to your right side and come onto your knees for child's pose. We're gonna add a little extra to this though. So take your big toes together, knees wide. You're gonna cross the right underneath the left, left in front. Take sort of a crisscross arms. We call this twisted ropes. Forehead to the floor.
Breathing into that space between the shoulders, lengthening the neck, feeling the support of the floor underneath your forehead, giving you a little calm, a little peacefulness. Gently start to lift your head up, unwind your arms, and come out into an extended child's pose. So taking those hands right above the shoulders, stretch them out, drop your head down to the floor. Take 5 breaths here. And lifting up, you're going to switch how you were crossed. So this time you're going to take the right in front, left behind. Forehead to the floor. Start to lift your head, walk your hands out. And this time you're going to take your hands wide. So thumbs on the mat or stretched out wide, more like a Y or a V. Start to lift yourself up. Come on to hands and knees. And bring that right knee over to that right wrist for swan and sleeping swan. So walk your back knee back. Flip your toes down if you like. Walk your hands a little bit closer for swan. So lift up, but let that left hip kind of sink toward the floor. We're just going to be here for a couple of breaths. A little stretch in the back, stretch in the legs and hips. Lift the chest, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back. Just reversing all the things that we do throughout the day, bending and forward folding. Give me a tiny back bend. And then slowly lowering all the way down into sleeping swan. Forearms to the floor or hands, or all the way down to the floor if you feel comfortable with that, your forehead to the floor. And take your palms face up, right on top of left.
Think about lengthening and looking out past your fingertips and then letting the chest soften. Here, working with our kidney meridian on the inside of the leg. Just like we did in the last pose, helping to bring some balance to our energy levels. Also helping stretch out the lower back, legs and hips that are related to our lower back health. Returning to that 3-part breath, softening, maybe allowing that exhale to extend even longer than you have before, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 counts longer. Breathing into the hip, feeling that breath, allowing everything to soften. And as you follow that breath, follow it down through the entire body. So maybe your toes are a little bit tense, maybe your knee or your hip on the left side or the right side. Just breathe into those spaces. Just softly allowing them to relax. No muscle engagement here. Last minute here. Last 2 deep breaths, inhaling, lengthening the spine just a little bit softly and softening a little bit more deeply. Flipping the palms over, walking the hands back in, lifting up and lengthening, looking up toward the ceiling, palms underneath, and shift back into downward facing dog just for 3 breaths here. I remember downward facing dog being one of my best friends when I had small children because it stretched everything out very efficiently. Walk your dog out, bend one knee and then the other. Maybe rock the hips side to side, shake your head out. A little traction for your neck to help it soften a little. And then we're going to come back down onto hands and knees and shift over to the other side. So left knee over toward left wrist. Walk that right leg back just a little bit. Lift up. Lengthen the spine. And then lower all the way down. Palms facing up.
Sense the shift in energy in your body. Sense the shift in where your body releases and softens toward the floor. Last minute here. Bring your palms flat, walk them up, lift up into swan, length of the spine. You're going to roll over onto that left side and come all the way back down onto your back. Go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Maybe rock them side to side here. You can even grab the ankles and let those knees go wide in sort of a upside down child's pose. Keeping the same shape, you're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees wide. And take the arms out to the side, elbows bent. So as long as you have support of the floor, you can take them up as high as you want. If you can interlace the fingers upside down, so the fingers are pointing up toward the ceiling, you can do that. Or you can just take them wide, tuck the shoulder blades underneath, close your eyes. Feel your heart open, your hips open, reversing that bending over so much. Bring balance to the mind and body, into your energy. Gently take your hands down and bring those knees together. Stretch the legs out. Hands to your belly. Take 5 deep breaths here. Side out. Last 2.
On your next inhale, stretch out through your fingertips, stretch out through your toes, make yourself as tall and long as you can. And then gently roll over to your right side and press yourself up to whatever seated position you like best. Eyes closed or open, palms up or down on your knees. Dropping your fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. Open your eyes, look up at your palms. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I know it is precious, and I wish you a wonderful day. I know how hard being a mom can be. It is challenging, but it is really wonderful when they reach up and hug you and hang on to you tight. So don't ever forget those precious moments, as much as your back may hurt. If you enjoyed this practice, please like and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. And if you're not a subscriber, please click that subscribe button over here to your right, my left, and join me for weekly videos every Thursday morning. I upload a new video and sometimes a few in between. Check that out. And if you are interested in deepening your practice, please visit me on theyogaranger.vhx.tv, my member site that has a community forum, a Facebook page, pre-release videos, as well as a new exclusive video for that group every single week, as well as live calls each month to kind of get to know you, visit, and ask your questions. Also has a monthly immersion playlist and or calendar. Some people call it a calendar, I call it an immersion playlist. Check those out, and there's also a 7-day free trial, so please take a moment to check that out. There's some link down below and up above, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful day.